podcast. I haven't made a video in a couple of weeks. Haven't really had any subject matter to report on, or I've been working a lot, so I haven't. I'm just doing a quick video right now, just to give you all an update. I never know where to look. Right here, so that I'm addressing you. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to go live at I guess 2 o'clock EST in a place called it's Leominster State Forest, but it's near the Newtown Reservoir where there have been footprints found. Look it up in the BFRO Massachusetts section. It's Leominster State Forest. It's in Worcester County. It was 2010. So, hey man, how are you? Wow, what time is it in Australia? My brother was there for like 5 years, loved it, but had to come back home because of visa restrictions. So yeah, I'll be going with one of my buddies, Kevin from MBR, Massachusetts Bigfoot Research. 10:06 a.m. So it's tomorrow there. Wow. So it's Sunday there. Okay. So I'll be reporting from the. How are you, Papa? My son wants to come into the kitchen. Come on ahead, son. I'm just doing a live broadcast. It's just going to be quick. So I'm going to be doing a live broadcast from the Granite Street Trail. It's not actually called that. It has an Indian name, like the Monosaka Trail or something. I'm not too sure how to say it, but the entrance to the woods and at that part of Leominster State Forest is the end of Granite Street in Leominster. So we're going to hike right to the Newtown Reservoir. If you look that up on Google Maps, you'll see it. Newtown Reservoir. Newtown's all one word. And like I said, there was footprints found there 10 years ago. So I believe that area is active. I've been up there and made it like a mile in and got the creeps. And, being by yourself, I haven't made it any further. So Kevin and I, and maybe John from MBR will be taking part. And I say a possible live stream because we may not have any signal, because that area, I've been up in Leominster State Forest before, and that area doesn't have any signal. So I'm just going to bring my GoPro with me, and hopefully, if I don't get any signal, I'm just going to GoPro it. Also, tomorrow night, there's a possibility I could have pretty much a non-Bigfoot, hey Andy, a non-Bigfoot podcast. Well, I've had her on before, Catherine Streeter. If you look down at my videos, it's Bigfoot and QAnon. We will talk about some Bigfoot stuff, but we're going to talk about other stuff too. So some people might not really be interested in the whole conspiracy side of things, but I'm really into that. I love to explore that, and I love to talk about it with people that are into it. So if I can get her on here tomorrow night, I'm going to do that, and maybe even do, if she wants, a live stream, which I haven't done before with a guest. So that'll be interesting. If not, she might just want to do audio. I'm not too sure how we do that with a live stream via YouTube, StreamYard, to be what the hell? See, when you're in front of a camera and you're trying to recall words, it's kind of harder. Your word recall goes out the window sometimes. That's why people write stuff down. I don't like to do that. I like to just shoot from the hip. So that's what we've got going on. I've got a couple of people that I'm speaking to also, that I'm going to have on the podcast. I have three different guests that I'm hopefully going to interview. I've been speaking to the She Squatchers, so hopefully have them on soon. But they were just on Carrie's podcast, and I don't want to, have them on too soon because they were just on Kerry's podcast, and everybody that watches my podcast and most people watch Bigfoot Odyssey, so I don't want it too close, just for obvious reasons. So, and they seem like fun, so I'd love to have them on at some point. They have a totally different perspective on the whole subject, so that'll be fun. But I'm just playing around with this whole live thing. It's fun, you know. So what else is going on? Yeah, I'm trying to organize a camping trip through NBR out to Western Mass. I've got a couple of guys that I'm in contact with, and any other Massachusetts people want to, if you're interested, I'm thinking of October Mountain. I think there's been some sightings and Class B encounters out there. So go to my Facebook page for the Massachusetts Bigfoot Research. If you're not on it already, I just made an announcement and I'd like some feedback on that thread. I know some of you guys are from Mass and even, Connecticut or Rhode Island, New Hampshire, whatever. But I want to get a team out there and spend a long weekend up there, And the thing is, I don't really know. I know there's a campground out there, but I don't really want to go to a campground per se. Maybe if that's what it comes down to, it'll be a matter of going on day hikes and stuff to an area that there have been reports. So I'm all ears. If anybody knows of any areas out that way, I don't have to stealth camp because then you can't make fires and stuff. But I would like to go deep into the woods and camp, I know you can do that on the Appalachian Trail. I camped up there one time with a load of Buddhists. And that's a funny story. I'll tell you it some other time. So, yeah, if we can somehow camp off the beaten track up around that area, that would be really, really good. And I want to do this sooner rather than later because when you talk about these things, if you don't do them right away, within a month or something, it just kind of fizzles out. So anybody that's interested in this, I want to get going on this in like the next few weeks. I'm serious. I know people have lives, but we're talking heading off Friday morning, set up camp Friday afternoon, stay Friday, Saturday night, and then, come back Sunday, something like that. So if you're interested, go to Massachusetts Bigfoot Research Facebook page and let me know. And keep an eye out for the live stream tomorrow. I'm going to be meeting Kevin at, I think, 2 o'clock tomorrow at the Granite Street Trail. We're going to be heading in. My plan is to walk to the No Town Reservoir. I don't know exactly where the footprints were found because these people had got lost. If you look at the report, they had got lost and they were walking on a trail, and on the way back they found footprints that weren't there before, and apparently they were pretty obvious. Plus they were hearing like noises in the bushes and stuff, and that whole area, I'm pretty convinced there has been, like around the whole Leominster State Forest area, there has been reported activity, not just on the BFRO website. I've heard from other people that the reports never made it on there. Like, I'll tell you one thing, if I come across anything, I'm not calling the BFRO, I'm going to make a video about it. I don't see the point in calling those guys. I'm nothing against them. I just don't need the world. I don't need the catalog my account for the world to see, I don't see the point. I'll just come on here and talk about it. So, but there have been a couple of that, like Route 2 runs up. Apparently it's an old, one of you guys actually told me it's an old Indian trail that runs, I guess, east to west in Massachusetts. And around that area, there's been a couple of road crossings. One person actually saw a female with a younger one, I believe, and knew it was a female for obvious reasons. And another one, it was up near Grafton, Massachusetts, and it was like really early in the morning, and the guy thought it was someone in a ghillie suit, and it took two steps and like crossed a two-lane highway. So that whole area, I believe, and it's all connected. This, you can just keep going until you get to Canada. As I have stated ad nauseum, I repeat myself, but that's what's going on tomorrow. So I've got a free day. I'm not working tomorrow, and I want to pack it in with some stuff because I know I've been kind of missing for the last couple of weeks. So, I hope to see you all tomorrow, and I really do hope that I can get some kind of, thanks, Andy. I really do hope that I can get some kind of activity tomorrow. I want to try to pack the day because it was like 70 degrees today up here in Massachusetts, and it's going to be like in the 80s next week. So I want to take advantage of the weather, and I actually took a bike up to this trail last week, and I carry a bike in my van, and it's a mountain bike, so I took it up to the trail, and the trail is just full of tree roots. It's like, what the, I don't know if I've already made this analogy. If I have, forgive me, but it's like a lying on a cheap motel bed, after you stick the quarter in. Not that I've ever done that, but I've heard of it. And your head's just like, it would give you TBI, traumatic brain injury. Just, hey, Zach. Zach, you're from Mass, aren't you? Did you say you're from Mass? Or New Hampshire? I totally forget. I don't know if you've just joined us, but I'm gonna try to. Oh, West Virginia, that's right. I'm gonna try to make a big day of it tomorrow. I'll do a live stream from Leominster State Forest with a friend or two of mine, and then hopefully get an interview in tomorrow night because I know I've been like MIA the last couple of weeks. Work's been very busy, so that's the way it goes. But tomorrow's going to be a belter day for weather, and I'm gonna, hopefully, do a good hike. I mean, it's a good 2 or 3 miles from the Granite Street entrance to the reservoir. Yeah, Leominster State Forest. Yeah, Zach, I don't know if I'm going to be able to live stream it because I've been at the other end of Leominster State Forest. It's a huge area, but I've been at one of the other entrances and there's no signal. So what I'm going to do is bring a GoPro with me, and I'm going to GoPro it. I might do both, because sometimes if you live stream it, the signal, yeah, you've got a signal, but it's very choppy. So I might do both. I'm going to wear the body cam, the GoPro right here, and just record the whole thing, because the sound and the video from a GoPro 7 Silver is phenomenal. So if the live stream doesn't work out, I might just totally replace it with the GoPro, you know what I mean? A live stream is really good when you've got a good signal, but like something like this, where you've got Wi-Fi and stuff, yeah. So hopefully we get some, I don't know if there's been much rain lately, but hopefully we get some evidence. I mean, I've been up there and I've seen tree structures. I don't know if they're. So I just got word from my hopeful interviewee tomorrow night, and she just texted me right now and said she could do it. So that'll be nice. That'll be Catherine, and she's been on the podcast before, in the Bigfoot and QAnon podcast, and we'll be talking about a lot of stuff that people might think that's out there, but I love talking about it. The Bigfoot and alien connection, the Anunnaki, stuff like that. We're going to go into the, satanic ritual abuse, stuff like that. So it might not be for everybody, but I love to explore these subjects. So it's going to be hard to keep it under an hour. Let me tell you that, because this stuff really interests me, So that'll be after the live stream. So I plan to totally pack tomorrow. And any questions, anybody? Anything you want me to do? Because I always see people in these live streams, and they always have a little, section where they're like, any questions, and people put their questions up, and that's the whole idea of a live stream. I mean, it's an interactive thing. It's a two-way mirror, and I'm going to be looking for tree structures, or we're going to be looking for tree structures. Um, it's going to start at 2 p.m. EST. So I hope that we do have some kind of a signal. Whatever kind of a signal I'm going to have, I'm going to live stream it. If that's going to be the final product, I don't know. Because I'm going to be GoPro on it as well. So if the GoPro does a better job than the live stream, I'll delete the live stream and upload the GoPro. So that's the way it's going to go. So I hope everybody's doing good this Saturday night. I've got the kids with me, and I'm actually going to watch that Norwegian movie called, what's it called? Dead Snow. It's like got subtitles and stuff, but it's about these Norwegian hikers, and they come across these Nazi zombies. So I'm gonna watch that. I just watched, what's the word? Oh, Bone Tomahawk. Do you ever see that movie, guys? It's about Kurt Russell's in it, and it's about the. Yeah, I've seen the I've seen the Fleur footage. Yeah, that was pretty undeniable, eh? That was crazy. That's some of the best footage that any of us have ever seen. It's definitely the best flare footage any of us have seen. I'm actually, I won the iPad on Bigfoot Odyssey. So I'm going to get a flare attachment for that. Which one's a good movie that Bone Tomahawk's got, Zach? Bone Tomahawk is about the Old West, and there's these troglodyte cannibals living up in the mountains, and oh man, it was so imaginative and different than a lot of like recent movies. It's kind of like it's got that cult feel to it. It's like a cult classic. That's one of those movies that is going to go down in history, and it'll have a small. Yeah, that was fantastic, and they had this thing in their neck that made that noise, and all of the actors were fantastic in it. Yeah, it was brutal too. I'm not going to say too much about it because I don't want to give it away, but Kurt Russell in it is he's fantastic. But I'm going to watch that Blood Snow tonight because I was talking about Bone Tomahawk to my friends, and they're like, oh, you got to check out Blood Snow if you like that kind of stuff. And it's in Norwegian. It's got subtitles, but it's like Nazi zombies. So they're obviously, German soldiers that were killed during the Norway campaign in World War II that have come alive again. But, the whole hiking thing. Thanks, Tommy. Iowa, huh? I think there's one state that people haven't. There's one state in America that people haven't listened to me on my audio podcast on Podbean, and I think it's either Iowa or Dakota, South Dakota or North Dakota. I'm not too sure, but Iowa's pretty beautiful. I hear the hunting's really good out there. What's Iowa Squatch activity like? Is it pretty busy out there? All right, I just jumped on here to make like a 2-minute video on it. It's I'm on here for almost 20 minutes. Kira, honey, you all set? It's my daughter. She just got a shower, so I'm just making sure she's You all set, sweetie? Are you good? Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking she's okay. But yeah, I'm going to watch that Dead Snow with my son tonight. It's one of the best ways of. Well, he plays Call of Duty, and anybody that plays Call of Duty knows that every Call of Duty has like Nazi zombie, like single player. So I'm like, watch a movie with me tonight, son. He's like, no, I want to play Call of Duty. And I'm like, there's Nazi zombies in it. He said, yeah, sure. So Zach, you're in West Virginia. My wife was born in Kentucky, Brea, Kentucky. right on the edge of the Daniel Boone Forest, actually. And her cousin had a pretty profound experience down there. He was dirt biking in the Daniel Boone Forest, and his dirt bike broke down. He was like walking it out, and the typical, you take a step, they take a step, that kind of thing started happening, and he got faster and faster, and this thing got faster and faster. Yeah, David. I really don't care if they prove Sasquatch to be a species or not. You know, I have this yeah, I have this thing that if if Sasquatch is recognized, it'll just become like all these bad actors will get involved, and God knows where it's going to go. I don't know. It's kind of like Dead Snow. Yeah, yeah, man. KRG. Yeah, Dead Snow. Is it any good? I was so embarrassed that I was watching my son playing soccer, so I kind of like walked like 50 yards away from the all the moms and dads and had a like one puff, and one of the officials came over and said, "Sorry, sir, you can't have those on school property." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like one puff, and they were right on me. Yeah, Zach, I kind of agree. I know that's selfish of me, but I do like the mystery, and I don't know. I just can see bad things happening if people, all these research teams start. You know what it's like when they go into the Amazon, they find a new tribe. They go in, and the new tribe somehow, over time, there's always someone in the group that will kind of bring, they'll kind of corrupt them. And I know they're not human, so that there's no possibility of them getting a hold of the Bible or something. Not that, there's nothing wrong with that. That's great, but if we just want to preserve their culture, we don't want to bring anything from outside in. And what's going to happen is, there's people are going to cash in. Yeah, they're going to protect them and stuff, but there's going to be reality shows and nature shows and stuff. And even if they're watching them from afar, they'll bring the best equipment in, and I just can't see any good coming from it. I don't know what the positive aspect of Sasquatch being recognized as a species would bring. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just can't see the benefits of it. You know, because it's not like we're out there um, killing them. Yeah, it'll just become like a part of. I don't know, but you know what I mean. I don't really know. Yeah, it's already anamorphized. Is that the word for it? Where it's a kind of a joke. I'd rather just like let the general population see it as a joke and just leave the research. Yeah, I don't see anything positive about it either, Papa. I'd rather just leave the researchers to people that research it because they're really interested in it. Yeah, it would be detrimental. You'll. I know there's probably confrontations where hunters may shoot them and stuff, but it's minimal because most people don't believe them, so they're not out there looking for them. I bet you any money people are going to go out there looking for trophies in the backwoods, stuff like that. Then you've got all the people with money wanting to make millions out of it. And the only good thing I could see from Sasquatch being recognized as a species is for our safety. You know, um, but then again, some people say that they're not killing machines. You know, like I don't think we've got people bringing their entire families into remote areas for a week long camping trip. Most people with kids and stuff stay within the boundaries of because of other animals like bears and like big cats and stuff. So I think that most people don't take those kind of risks anyway. I just don't know. I just don't know what the benefit would be, you know. the world is full of greedy people, and people are going to just cash in on the whole Sasquatch thing. But that's my opinion anyway. You know, for our safety, well, I mean, just don't go like. I mean, how many people go missing a year? And outside sickness. Yeah, that's true too. I don't think we get close enough to them for that. We're not going to be giving them blankets. Yeah, I think that if we get close to them, they just move back. If you think of that's how the Russians won the war against the Germans, right? And the further, right, what happened was that the Germans or the Russians had so much land that they just kept retreating and retreating and retreating. And after a while, the German supply line couldn't keep up, and that's the closest analogy I can think of. I think that the closer we got, the further away Sasquatch would get. Like I was in Oklahoma in March, and we were in an area that we thought that there was activity on a ridge. Up on top of this ridge, it was like maybe a 35-degree angle, but it's all rocks and stuff. And just to get up to that ridge would take, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 minutes to where we thought they were. But in that 20 or 30 minutes to get up to that ridge, they would be like long gone the other way, So there's no point going looking for them. And what actually ended up happening was they came to us because we weren't making we weren't banging trees and stuff. We weren't making a big show of like looking for Sasquatch. Yeah, we had audio recorders out and some what's the word for the thing when you try to listen, that big microphone on steroids, whatever you call it. And if you have flair or something, that's fine. But if you're going to go into the woods and running around looking for them, you're not going to find them. And that's the way it's going to be. The only way that you're actually going to entrap these things is probably having like the National Guard make a 100-mile perimeter and just close in on them, that kind of thing. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't think that any good can come of trying to get these things recognized as a species, because I don't really think that they are in danger. They're not really an endangered species. They can kind of look after themselves. They're not like the snow owl or some species that they're not like some species that we're trapping for fur or meat or something, and thereby putting their lives in danger. So I don't know. But anyway, I only come on here to talk about what's going on tomorrow. So and I'm checking out the whole live thing as well. It's just interesting. I'm just looking after my kids tonight and thought I would come on and make a quick video. I'm actually trying to do shorts, but I think if you go over a minute, it's not recognized as a short anymore, and it goes into your actual video library instead of down below in the little short thing. So anyway, I'll probably hang up now, and see you all tomorrow at about, I guess, 2 o'clock or something. I'm not going to put a link up for it, like the way you can put links up for a video premiere and put a timestamp on it and stuff, because it might not happen, because we might not get reception. I'm not going to know until we get out there. So just have a look at it around 2 o'clock tomorrow. See if I'm live or not. This is 5%, and these are actually illegal in Massachusetts because it's got a flavor in it. But I go to a store where they sell it under the counter. So there you go. And before I started these things, I didn't even smoke. Like, I smoked years ago, but I just decided I think it was at a party one night, and somebody had a Juul, and I'm like, give me a smoke of that. And I really enjoyed it. So I'm like, wow, I'm going to buy one of those, and I'm sure it's doing me damage. I don't know, but you got to have something sometimes. Keeps you occupied. 3%. Your BP dropped about 15. What's blood pressure? Your blood pressure dropped by 15 points, 15%. So you're saying this is bad? Really? Yeah, yeah. I was thinking of quitting anyway because of the price. I mean, these are $15. They last you about 2 days, so it adds up. Yeah, this is another bad habit. I'm one of those kind of people that you know has one of those personalities where I pick something up and I found it hard to put down again. Anything, ice cream, vapes, anything at all, throw at me. Bigfoot, I go head first. I don't just do it like little bits. I don't have that moderation gene. Plus, I'm Irish. Now, where are you from, KRG? I smoked for 15. Oh, Phoenix. Oh, wow. You ever hear of Sean Atwood? He was in, he's got his own YouTube channel. He's a guy from Liverpool. And he has a YouTube channel, but he got locked up in Arizona. I think he was living in Phoenix, but he ran a, hello Buster, but he ran a big ecstasy importing. He made $1 million in the stock market, and he retired and decided to just hold these 10,000 people. Yeah, look up Sean Atwood, Sean Haun, and he's like a Joe Rogan type character. He's a bald guy from Liverpool, but he ended up, yeah, he's great, isn't he? Yeah, I'm reading one of his books at the minute, the one where he's in prison in Arizona, and the cockroaches. He opens up about the cockroaches, and his whole cell was. He has Buster, and some of his guests are amazing. He does a lot on child abuse, human trafficking, satanic ritual abuse, hard time. That's it. I'm reading that at the minute. It's quite good. It's a real easy read, but yeah, KRG, I think it is. He yeah, he ends up having. He's like importing ecstasy. Do you ever hear of Sammy the Bull? He's kind of competing against him in the ecstasy market, and he's having these 10,000 people raves and like making serious money from the ecstasy business. And he gives it all up, meets a woman, falls in love, and a couple of years later, hears a knock on the door. It's a SWAT team, and he gets put in prison. And he famously does a blog, and he writes it on these little. He has like a little bookie pen, like one of those Kino pencils, and he writes it on post-it notes and gives it to his aunt, and publishes it on the internet, and it's called. Yeah, Sammy the Bull. Well, he was a competitor of Sammy the Bull's, and Sammy the Bull actually has his own YouTube channel too. You should look that up. Sammy the Bull says he can't remember Sean Atwood, but Sean Atwood went under various names. But yeah, he was. I think he went. I think Scottsdale is where. Yeah. I think Scottsdale is where Sean lived. Yeah, he had 666 for a long, long time. People used to give him shit about it. Yeah, he just broke 670. I seen that, but he just recently had a lady on who had been abused by her father, and her father had recorded everything, and he was giving her drugs, and the whole time since she was like a toddler, and she just came on today on Sean's podcast and talked about it all. The guy catalogued everything. He got 10 years, and he had abused her for like 10 years or something like that. and he videotaped everything. They had hundreds of hours of the abuse. It's heartbreaking, it really is. But Sean does some amazing podcasts. He's probably my favorite YouTube channel at the minute. Him and John Wedger's pretty good too. But yeah, these guys are pretty good. But Sean's story's pretty good. Him and Wildman. Wildman was his friend who he was in the business with. Yeah, well, it's nice talking to like-minded people. When you're talking to people that are interested in stuff that you're talking about. You could go on for hours, couldn't you? I mean, I don't have anybody in my immediate vicinity that are into the same shit I am. Yeah, he is out in all the pedos, and there's a lot of other different YouTube channels that are doing the same, and this is all coming to light, all these elite pedophile rings and stuff. And he's giving the victims a voice, and these victims are coming forward. They're coming on to Sean Atwood's channel, and they're talking for 2 or 3 hours, naming people. Look up the RAINS list, RAINS. It's abbreviated. It's all about satanic ritual abuse, and they did an investigation, and this big top psychologist compiled this list, and the people that are on there are only people that have been mentioned 3 times or more by independent victims. And some of the names on there, if you're from America, you might not know some of them, but if you're from Britain or Ireland, you'll know a lot of people on there, and it will shock you. Like Epstein, Prince Andrew, Nygaard from up in Canada, Jean-Luc Bernard out of France. These people are just the tip of the iceberg. I just watched that movie, Eyes Wide Shut, and I think that Hi, Nick. So, sexual abuse isn't something to be joked about. Yeah, all these types of people, and Eyes Wide Shut was, I think that the director was trying to tell us something in a very mild way, that I think that kind of stuff goes on. Like, you look at Bohemian Grove, that's another example. They're worshipping like an owl god. They're trying to say it's all fake, but that owl god is Moloch, the ancient god of like child sacrifice. So what are the odds, And they're sacrificing like a fake kid to this god of sacrifice. Stanley Kubrick, yep. Not his best work. I really like that. I like that movie. It probably isn't his best work. Yeah, I think he was too. And yeah, well, how could you hold up to like 2001 and stuff? But I really liked that movie. It wasn't that, it was easily done. Okay. It was a very simple movie. It wasn't a big budget thing or anything, but the message in it was particularly poignant for me. And I think that these elite kind of parties do actually happen. And I think that they're there's probably different levels, but I think that what he was showing is pretty commonplace. I think I've got a feeling, and I think we're being lied to, And if, you've got QAnon, I think they're just, I don't know, I think that QAnon maybe get it right sometimes, but, the media takes QAnon, which has some pretty wild theories, and the media concentrates on that and uses it to make a joke out of the whole thing. I mean, it's in our face. The symbolism is everywhere. And if you listen to these witnesses, you got to listen to the victims. All right, man. See you later. I'm gonna have to leave too. You got to listen to these. You've got to listen to the victims. I think the victims need to have a voice, and they need to be listened to, and they can't all be lying. And if only 1% of them are lying, we have a problem on our hands. So I'm going to be talking about some of that tomorrow night. If you guys want to tune in. yeah, if you want to tune in tomorrow night, I don't know what time I'm going to be doing it at. I'll do a community post, but I will be going through some of this stuff, and it's not particularly Bigfoot related. Like I said before, the Bigfoot topic seems kind of wholesome compared to some of this other stuff, which is why I don't do a YouTube channel dedicated to some of this other stuff, because it's pretty dark, and when you have young kids, you don't want to be thinking about this stuff all the time. You need a break because it's quite disturbing. And, you know, not that Bigfoot isn't real, but it's not like an evil it's not like an evil entity. Or, well, I work with a guy from Guatemala, and he thinks it is an evil entity. It's a demon of some sort. Yeah, it is a nasty topic, and I definitely don't delve into it before I go to bed. I might listen to podcasts from Sean Atwood and stuff when I'm on the road, but um, I'm actually reading Sean Atwood's book. Hard Time, wasn't it? There's one before that, Party Time or something. But I wanted to start when he was actually in the prison. I think it was in Scottsdale that he was in. But the book is actually really, really good. And I know he does books on the Bush and Clinton crime families. I don't know how he's still alive, writing about that stuff, I guess. You know, they're so arrogant that they just don't think that anybody will believe it, and there won't be anything done about it. So, anyway, so look out for that tomorrow night, folks, if you want to hear some conspiracy stuff. If you want to see a live feed from me tomorrow, I'm going to try to make it happen around 2 p.m. EST. So I am going to get out of here, and I'll see you guys later.